The Pale Blue Eye releases on January 6th on Netflix. This gothic murder mystery film features amazing cinematography, great acting across the board from everybody, and a third act that may or may not break the film depending on your viewing experience up to the point of the turn. I'm Chainsaw Reacts, this is my review of The Pale Blue Eye. Here's a brief synopsis of the film before I dive into my review. A world-weary detective is hired to investigate the murder of a West Point cadet. Stymied by the cadet's code of silence, he enlists one of their own to help unravel the case, a young man the world would come to know as Edgar Allan Poe. The Pale Blue Eye was directed by Scott Cooper, who has directed previous films such as Out of the Furnace, Black Mass, Antlers, which I quite enjoyed, and this is his third time collaborating with Christian Bale. Speaking of Christian Bale is of course our lead playing Augustus Lander, who was the detective hired to investigate this murder mystery. As I expected, Christian Bale gave a great performance as Augustus Lander. I liked learning about his character more as the film progresses, and when that third act occurs that I mentioned in the intro, that is the turning point of the film, that's where his performance is really key, because the film goes in a direction I don't think a lot of people are expecting or anticipating to happen. Now, before I get into talking about the third act without spoiling any things, I do not want to ruin the experience of the story for you guys. The cinematography, as I mentioned in the intro as well, the cinematography, the look of this film is gorgeous. At the end of the day, even if you leave this film not really enjoying it, you can at least say, damn, they shot this film pretty well, because it looks fantastic. This story takes place in 1830, which really helps with that gothic aesthetic when it comes to the costuming and especially the sets, the different locations you visit with the houses and different places you go to as well. And also when they're shooting outside, the story takes place during winter, so all the snowy, amazing backgrounds and locations they found, it's just beautiful. So shout out to the scout locators for this film in terms of shooting inside and outside, because wow, they got some great shots and some great areas to make this film really feel authentic. I also briefly want to talk about the co-lead of the film, Harry Melling, who you might remember from the Harry Potter films, playing Edgar Allan Poe. His portrayal was really good. It was kind of odd to see him in this role after I remember him clearly from the Harry Potter films, because he's playing a very different character here clearly, and I loved his interaction with Christian Bale's character, Augustus, in this film. The Pale Blue Eye also features Gillian Anderson in a bizarre role, but it makes sense when you watch the film, Toby Jones, and even Robert Duvall. Okay, before I get to anything else, I will talk about it without actually talking about it. The third act of the film that I mentioned may or may not break the film, depending on your viewing experience. For me, when the turning point occurred, I was like, oh, there's still more to go, because I thought we had concluded the story, and no, the story's not done. And then when you start thinking back on things, okay, I see what's happening here. I can kind of understand what's happening. But it really is literally a curveball. It is a twist that I didn't see coming. Now, normally, I'm pretty good at predicting stuff, and I started to kind of predict and guess on the murder mystery, but it turns out I didn't expect it to go this route. I did not expect it to go the route that it did. Now, after finishing the film, I actually was clicking around on some other reviews for people who saw the film in theaters when it had its premiere, or when it had a brief stint in theaters, and there was people that were kind of mixed on the turn in the third act. And for me, to me, it doesn't break the film entirely, but it really changes my perspective, my impression on the film, because I wasn't prepared. I really thought that it was going to go this direction, and it completely threw me off. I overall enjoyed what I saw, and I will have to say that I definitely want to watch it again to catch certain things that leads to that turning point more. But I will say I understand if for people if they think it's a breaking point for them, because it really throws you off. I've seen other reviewers talking about the pacing of the film, and I overall feel like the pacing was fine. I didn't feel at any point that they could have cut stuff out. There are some slow-ish moments as you get into the middle of the film, but there's so much going on leading up to those moments that it's okay to kind of calm down for a moment, because this film just keeps amping up certain things, and certain things occur that really progresses the story forward in a way you go, oh, okay, and then you start, of course, thinking in your head about predictions and what's going to occur and everything. So I felt like overall, the pacing, they did a good job with it. Could they have maybe edited some things potentially, but the way it stands, I think it's good. I really didn't think about this too much until I started recording this video, but the music in the film, there were some moments I was hearing the music and I felt like it kind of worked. Other times I really wasn't paying too much attention to it. There is some music played by characters in the film, But in regards to the actual score of the film, I really didn't notice it too well. Maybe I just because I was trying to focus so much on the dialogue to make sure I was following along with the story and everything, because that's the main thing, is keeping up with the dialogue, keeping up with every single story beat so that I don't miss anything. So, you know, I wouldn't say the score was bad, I just didn't really notice it too much besides certain points. In conclusion, The Pale Blue Eye does deliver on its murder mystery and certain moments that will really throw you off, and some great acting across the board from everybody. Christian Bale, of course, does a great performance, like I said. So I feel like it is definitely worth the watch, in my personal opinion, on Netflix. If you have any interest whatsoever, I definitely recommend it. And if you've never heard of this film until now, I recommend giving it a shot. Check out the trailer, see for yourself, and check out the film if you are so desire. I honestly believe people at least should give this a chance and check out at least once, especially for the third act, just to see if you are okay with it or if you feel like it really does fall apart. But for me, you know, definitely was surprising. That's the review. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you're watching this video before the film actually releases, let me know in the comments below if you're excited for the film or you're intrigued by it. And if you're watching this after the film released and you saw it, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace out.